Donald Trump's arrival to Japan was an absolute disaster. He had an utter meltdown in the plane ride from Malaysia to Japan. He talked about getting an MRI that was the best MRI ever during his last doctor visit. And we told you that the advanced imaging reference in the medical reports was likely an MRI, but he says it's the best MRI ever. And then he talks about how at that last doctor visit, he also took another dementia test. He says a cognitive exam where he said it was very difficult. He had to list a tiger, elephant, and giraffe. And he said that he thinks that AOC would likely not be able to take that exam. It got weirder after that, if you could imagine. He goes on to talk about how the United States successfully interfered in the Argentinian election. He talked about how he's not going to watch the World Series because of Pete Rose, and Pete Rose has been treated so unfairly. That's why he's not watching the World Series. Let me just show you what went down with receipts. And then when he landed in Japan and he met the emperor, he started like touching the emperor, like emperor's back, and he kept on touching him, which is very weird. It's against all protocol. And then the emperor made a response to Donald Trump that I don't think Trump liked. Trump was trying to take credit for resolving 8 or 9 wars, which Trump didn't do. And then the emperor's response was, oh, there's a lot of conflict still going on in the world, Mr. Trump. And it was not the applause that I think Trump was looking for. So let's just go through with the receipts. Here, Donald Trump on Air Force One talks about getting an MRI. He says it was the best MRI at his last doctor visit, the most perfect MRI anybody's ever had, he says. Here, play this clip.
The readout from Walter Reed mentioned advanced medical imaging. Did you get an MRI? Can you tell us what that was?
I did. I got an MRI. It was perfect. Yeah. I mean, I gave you the full results. We had an MRI, and in the machine, the whole thing. Yeah. And it was perfect. Yeah.
Did you say what in particular?
You could ask the doctors. In fact, we have doctors traveling with us, but I think they gave you a very conclusive. Nobody has ever given you reports like I gave you. And if I didn't think it was going to be good, either I would let you know negatively, I wouldn't run, I'd do something. But the doctor said some of the best reports for the age, some of the best reports they've ever seen.
So naturally, the question is, why would you get the MRI? Like, we're not stupid. We know that people don't get MRIs on routine doctor visits. In any event, Donald Trump then talks about taking a cognitive exam at the last doctor visit. And he says, the first questions were easy, but it gets harder than that. You have to identify a tiger, an elephant, and a giraffe. He says, I don't think AOC would be able to take this exam. Why does this guy keep on taking cognitive exams and getting MRIs, right? It's pretty obvious before our eyes what's taking place here. And play this clip.
They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. They have AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test, have her pass like the exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. Those are very hard, they're really aptitude tests, I guess, in a certain way, but they're cognitive tests. Let AOC go against Trump. Let Jasmine go against Trump. I don't think Jasmine, the first couple of questions are easy. A tiger, an elephant, a giraffe, When you get up to about 5 or 6, and then when you get up to 10 and 20 and 25, they couldn't come close to answering any of those questions.
Then he brags about interfering with the election in Argentina. Let's play this clip.
Results from the Argentina election, it looks like the United Party.
Wow, what a great question that is. I love that question because that was a big win in Argentina. I want to congratulate the victor, and he was a big victor, and he had a lot of help from...
He's asked if he's been watching the World Series at all, which he claims he saw the ad that Ontario took out in the World Series using Reagan's words to show that Reagan was not a fan of tariffs, to say the least. And Donald Trump goes, I have not been watching it too much because of Pete Rose? What? Here, play this clip.
What is that?
I haven't been watching it too much, the World Series. No, I'm disappointed they didn't put Pete Rose in. I said put Pete Rose in before he dies. He had over 4,000 hits. They didn't do it. And with all the gambling you see now, I mean, give me a break. They didn't put Pete Rose in. I asked the commissioner, put Pete Rose in, commissioner, long before he died. Like a year before he died. They didn't get it done. Should have gotten it done. Pete Rose was a great baseball player.
One quick one, just you.
Donald Trump then refers to cattle ranchers as the cattle people and blames former President Biden for why the cattle people have been doing very poorly. Here, play this clip.
And you're seeing that.
You had suggested that you might not proceed maybe with the swaps plan or with the changes to beef purchases, depending on the result of that
Well, we'll see.
election.
We'll see. We're going to take care of. Look, we're going to take care of our ranchers one way. That we have two situations. The ranchers for 35 years have done very poorly. The cattle people, they've done very, very poorly, and now they're doing well, but the prices up. So what I can see happening is we're going to take some beef because I have to get the price down. I want to get most prices are down. If you look at energy and all the, I have things down, but beef is high, and the cattle ranchers are doing good. They backed me from day one. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that they don't get hurt, but we have to also make sure that I get the prices down. I want to get the prices down like I did with eggs, like I did with lots of others. We had a couple of them where when I first took over, eggs were double and quadruple what they were. That was Biden's fault. A lot of this is Biden's fault too. And we're going to get the price of beef down, and I'm going to make sure the cattle ranchers don't get hurt.
Next, Donald Trump talks about the idea of a third term. By the way, I think it's grossly irresponsible for reporters to even be asking him questions about the third term and in any way normalizing it. And Trump's like, oh, I would love to do it. I would love a third term. Here, play this clip.
Sir, Steve Bannon said in a recent interview that there could be plans for you to be able to run and potentially win a third term in 2028. Is that something you'd be willing to challenge the court to be?
Well, I haven't really thought about it. We have some very good people, as you know, but I have the best poll numbers I've ever had. I mean, I just solved 8 wars and a 9th is coming. I believe Russia, Ukraine will happen. But we just did, we just left, and when you look at the treaty we just did, that was a war that was thousands of people were already shot at the border. And when you look at what we just did, was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. We got a lot of good credit, and I really have to thank Malaysia for that because they really, the Prime Minister and everybody really helped get the two countries together. But it was quite a great peace treaty. But that was one of 8, and makes me feel good. I mean, it's millions of people that we saved. I saved the lives of.
He goes on to talk about Ronald Reagan and lies and says that Ronald Reagan loved tariffs. And we all know that Ronald Reagan actually said that tariffs caused the Great Depression, which it certainly accelerated the Great Depression when they were previously implemented. And here's what Donald Trump says there. Let's play it.
On the flight yesterday, you sent out your Truth Social about the Canada tariffs. Can you walk through when you expect those to take effect? And can I ask why?
No, we're gonna let them know. Ronald Reagan loved tariffs. He used them sparingly, which he probably would make a mistake. He made a mistake in that. And again, I was the biggest fan of Ronald Reagan, but on finance, on trade, it wasn't his strong suit. But he liked tariffs, and they totally changed that to say that he didn't, because they're catering to the Supreme Court, because Canada's been ripping us off for a long time, and they're not going to rip us off anymore. Canada.
Now, I think this is really important for me to bring this up. The Medicare annual enrollment period is here. This is the time to compare your options. If you don't, your costs could go up, your coverage could change, or your plan could disappear entirely. So listen up. That's why I recommend you reach out to our partners, chapter. They're the only advisors who look at every single plan in the country and provide honest advice to Americans on Medicare. It's why we work with them at the MeidasTouch Network. In under 20 minutes, they can see if you're already on the best plan for your needs. If you are, they'll tell you. If not, they'll help you switch for free. They've already helped many members of the MeidasTouch community, and they can help you too. Don't get duped by brokers who are pushing the plans that pay them the biggest kickbacks. And don't wait until December to figure out your plan for next year. Call Chapter today at 82 Medicare. That's 82 Medicare, and get honest advice today. Give them a call and let me know how it goes in the comments below. I know the Meidas Mighty have been very happy with the results. And while Donald Trump praises Argentina as a major ally of the United States because they have a MAGA puppet president there in Javier Milei, Donald Trump says that it's been very difficult to deal with Canada. He goes, they were caught doing fake ads, and he calls the fake ads a dirty pool, and you can't do that. Here's what he has to say. Here, play this clip.
And they're not going to rip us off anymore. Canada has been ripping us off for a long time.
Why?
One of the most difficult countries to deal with has been Canada. As much as I love Canada itself and the people of Canada, they've just had a lot of bad representatives. They did a fake ad yesterday. They were caught. The Ronald Reagan Foundation was the one that caught them, and it was totally the opposite of what they said. So I don't like that. That's dirty pool, and you can't do that. And let me just tell you, they shouldn't have done it. And they've apologized, and they said, we're going to take the ad down. Well, they did it, but they did it very late. They let it play for another 2 nights, and now they took that ad down. So I don't know when it's going to kick in. We'll see, but I don't really want to discuss it. Let's go.
Mr. President, this is an ad. That was an ad.
So a reporter asks, though, like, do you understand even the way Canada works? Like, the ad was taken out by a province, Ontario. It was not taken out by the federal government. So why are you attacking the federal government? And also, the ad was just accurately what Ronald Reagan said. It wasn't an edited thing. It was shorter because ads can't go for 5 minutes. But if you listen to Reagan's speech for the full 5 minutes, Reagan is more critical of tariffs in the remaining 5 minutes of it. Here, play this clip.
Let's go.
Mr. President, this is an ad. That was an ad run by a provincial government in Canada. Why are you mad at the federal government?
Because whether it's provincial or Canada itself, they all knew exactly what the ad was. The Prime Minister knew, everybody knew. The Prime Minister knew what the ad was before it went
Will
on.
you see him in APEC? Do you want to meet with him?
I don't want to meet with them. No, I'm not going to be meeting with them for a while. No, I'm very happy with the deal we have right now with Canada. We're going to let it ride.
Well, we have Secretary.
I just wanted to share this with you because as Donald Trump was attacking Canada again this morning, you had this segment running on CNN at about the same time that Canada is more popular in the United States than Donald Trump is. More people support Canada than support Donald Trump. That's not surprising to me. Here, play this clip right here.
All right. What about how Americans feel towards our Canadian neighbors? Longtime friends, they're always considered to be the nicest people.
Yes.
What are they feeling now?
So, picking a fight with China is one thing. Picking a fight with Canada is just something totally different here. So what are you talking about? Net popularity in the United States. Well, Canada is far more popular than Donald Trump is here in the United States. Look at this. The net popularity rating of Canada is plus 49 percentage points. Look at the net popularity rating of Donald Trump here in the United States. It's minus 10. We're talking about Canada coming out nearly 60 points ahead on the net popularity rating versus Donald Trump here in the United States. When you pick on Canada as a United States president, you are picking on a country that the American people adore. They adore Canada. Canada has always been a friend to the United States, at least during our lifetimes. And when you're going after Canada, you are going against someone who is far more popular than you are with Donald Trump.
Should also be noted that Donald Trump is reflecting on the Argentinian elections that the United States meddled with by giving Javier Milei $40 billion, while 42 million Americans are on the verge of losing their supplemental nutrition assistance program. And then Donald Trump says, I think we've made a lot of money based on the election, that the United States got very rich based on this election that just took place. Okay, well, tell that to the Americans right now living paycheck to paycheck, who are psychologically tortured as a result of what you're doing to them. Tell that to the Americans who are about to lose their health care. Tell that to the Americans who are about to lose their SNAP benefits. Here, play this clip.
Going back to Argentina quickly,
Yeah.
what do you think the state of the fiscal situation is there now? Do you think you'll have to do another
Well, we have the all-time
deal?
expert right here. I think right now we've made a lot of money based on that election because the bonds have gone up, their whole debt rating has gone up. You know, that election made a lot of money for the United States. Now, we're not in that for money per se, but if you look at the value of the bonds, the debt, Scott, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I think the great victory in this election, President Milei, I think he is going to expand his coalition, and they have some big refinancings next year. But the Argentinian people have spoken, President Trump, that they know that the U.S. is their ally thanks to President Trump. We're behind them, and that they're going to be able to fix their fiscal and keep on the road. He's working against 100 years of bad policies, and he's going to break them thanks to the support for the United States.
And we're helping other South American countries also, as you know.
Will they need more support, or would you consider it if they need
They
it?
might. Yeah, we would consider it. I think.
Yeah, well,
And so while all of that was taking place, you had MAGA Mike saying that actually, he goes, what everybody needs to know is that the Republicans don't control the government right now, he says. He goes, it's actually the Democrats who are running the government. That's what they're going with this morning. I'll do a whole other video about MAGA Mike in the next 90 minutes, and I'll have Congresswoman Biden on to join me. But here's what MAGA Mike says. The Democrats run the government, actually. Here, play this clip.
The Democrats are required to open the government. They keep saying Republicans are in charge of government. We aren't, not in the Senate. 60 votes control the Senate, not a bare majority. And so point number one, Democrat votes are required to open the government.
And then I talked earlier in this video about how the Emperor of Japan did not recognize that Trump stopped 8 wars the way Donald Trump wanted him to acknowledge that Trump stopped all of these wars. So here's the readout of their meeting together as reported by the Asahi Shimbun, October 27, 2025. Trump said, in 8 months since taking office again as president, I've resolved 8 conflicts around the world. I believe the Middle East was a very significant achievement, though it was a very difficult issue. His Majesty, the Emperor of Japan, conveyed, my heart aches that conflicts continue in various parts of the world. I hope peace will come to these regions. Now, it should also be noted while Donald Trump was bragging about all of that, at the same time, you had Maduro in Venezuela claiming he captured a CIA group accusing the U.S. of plotting false flag attacks in Venezuela right now. So we'll see what happens there. The Nicolas Maduro regime said Sunday Venezuela captured a group of alleged mercenaries with ties to the CIA and accused Washington and Trinidad and Tobago of coordinating military exercises intended to provoke an armed confrontation in the Caribbean. Keep you posted every step of the way. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.